The Walking Dead is one of those rare franchises that never really truly ever disappeared. In fact, it's coming back even stronger. It's just evolving. Over the years, it has shifted across mediums, from comics to television, from emotional narrative games to action-focused experiments, constantly trying to redefine what it means to survive in a world that has already ended. And now once again, of course, the franchise seems to be circling back to gaming, with growing reports suggesting that a brand new Walking Dead title is currently in development, potentially targeting the next few years. So first of all, what makes this particularly interesting isn't just the existence of a new game, but actually the timing of it. The industry has changed significantly since the last major wave of the Walking Dead games. Player expectations are higher now, narrative systems are more advanced, and open world design has reached a level where immersion is no longer a bonus, it's expected. That creates, of course, both an opportunity and a challenge, because if this new project is gonna matter, it can't just revisit what worked before, it has to evolve it. The biggest question right now surrounding this new Walking Dead game is pretty simple. What kind of experience it is trying to be? The franchise has already explored multiple directions. You see, Telltale's episodic titles focus on storytelling and emotional weight, proving that Walking Dead thrives when it leans into human drama rather than action. On the other hand, more combat-focused attempts struggle to find the same identity, often feeling like they were chasing trends instead of just defining their own space. There are right now early signs that developers may have learned from that contrast. Reports and discussions suggest that this new project could return to a more narrative-driven foundation, but with modern gameplay systems layered on top, of course. That combination is important. Purely cinematic experiences no longer carry the same impact they once did, especially in a market where players expect agency to extend beyond dialogue trees. And at the same time, turning The Walking Dead into a fast-paced action game risks losing the tension that makes the world compelling in the first place. So, all things considered, the balanced approach could change everything. Imagine a game where choices are not isolated moments, but part of a larger system that tracks your behavior over time. Instead of selecting a dialogue option and immediately seeing the result, your decisions could shape how entire groups perceive you hours later and days later. Trust becomes something that is to be earned, maintained, and sometimes sacrificed, actually. Relationships, you could say, aren't just written, but they're simulated. That kind of design would align perfectly with the themes of The Walking Dead, where survival often depends less on combat skills and more on understanding people. Another key detail that has been quietly discussed is the possibility of a completely new cast of characters. See, while familiar faces always attract attention, the franchise has historically performed best when it introduces fresh perspectives within the same world. The success of the characters like Clementine show that players are willing to invest in new stories as long as they feel authentic. A new game that avoids relying too heavily on established icons could create a stronger sense of unpredictability, which is essential for maintaining tension in a post-apocalyptic setting. The setting itself is another area where the project could stand out. See, the Walking Dead universe is not limited to a single locations or style of environments. From dense urban ruins to isolated rural communities to facilities, the world offers a pretty wide range of possibilities. And if the developers choose to build a semi-open or fully open world environment, the focus should not be on sheer size, but on meaningful interactions. A smaller, more detailed world where every location has purpose would fit the tone far better than a massive map filled with just repetitive activities. Of course, this leads into one of the most exciting possibilities, which is systemic survival gameplay, where instead of unscripted missions guiding every moment, the game could allow situations to emerge naturally. Resource management becomes a constant concern. Encounters with other survivors are not just predetermined events, but dynamic interactions that can shift based on your actions. A simple supply run, like per se, could turn into a moral dilemma. a confrontation, or even an unexpected alliance. That level of unpredictability would bring the player closer to the core experience of The Walking Dead than any linear consequence ever could. There's also a broader context to consider. See, The Walking Dead is, as a franchise, still actively expanding, with new shows, spin-offs, and cross-media projects continuing to appear. This ongoing presence suggests that the brand remains valuable and relevant, which increases the likelihood that any new game will be treated as a long-term investment rather than a one-off release. If handled correctly, this could mean post-launch support, evolving content, and a world that grows alongside its audience. However, this approach comes with its own risks. The gaming industry has seen many projects attempt to build long-term ecosystems without fully understanding what keeps players engaged. For The Walking Dead, the answer is not endless, constant updates, it's emotional investment. Players return to these stories because they care about the characters and the choices they make. Any attempt to expand the experience must preserve that focus rather than dilute it. On another side of the things, tone will also play an almost crucial role in achieving that balance. See, The Walking Dead is not just another game about danger, it's about the psychological weight of living in a world where every decision has consequences. Recent entries in the franchise have actually explored themes of rebuilding and community, moving beyond simple survival skills. A new game could build on that direction, allowing players to take on roles that involve leadership and responsibility. This shift would also open the door to new gameplay mechanics. Base building, for example, could become more than a background feature. It could serve as a central system that reflects the player's priorities and decisions. A well-managed community, you could say, might thrive, but at the cost of strict rules and difficult choices. Look, despite all the potential, there are still many things unknown. The identity of the developer, the specific gameplay structure, and the overall scope of the project has not been fully revealed. This lack of information can be frustrating, but it also suggests that the project's still being carefully shaped. In some ways, that uncertainty mirrors the world it is trying to depict, a place where nothing is guaranteed and every step forward carries risk. Ultimately, the success of this new Walking Dead game will depend on whether it understands what makes the franchise unique. It's not the zombies, the violence, or the scale of the world. It is the human elements, the leadership, the choices, the consequences that follow. If the developers can capture that essence while embracing modern design, they have an opportunity to create something that stands out in a crowded market right now, where survival is complicated, where trust is pretty fragile and every decision leaves a mark. And if the new project can deliver on that vision, it won't, for sure, just revive The Walking Dead in gaming, it will redefine what players expect from it.